Greetings ladies and gentlefish, and welcome to this game in my M46 Patton Tier 9 American medium tank. A couple of things to note about this game. Firstly, at the end of it I'm going to do something slightly different, so stay around after the end plates and you'll see what I mean. Secondly, I have decided at this point that this tank is too much fun. I'm keeping it. So I'm no longer using the grinding equipment. I took advantage of a weekend special to buy some regular equipment, and I bought it, a gun rammer, optics and vertical stabilizer, so that's what I'm using. Point 3, this is a game that I've called Damage Record. This is where the Patton restakes its damage record back from the ISU 152. But as those of you who've watched some of my videos before may well know, every time I post up a damage record game, it's a defeat. Will this fall into the same trap? Well, we shall see. Now, this is a game where RNG screws me over a little bit at one point. We'll get to that. And real life gets in the way. But again, we'll get to that. Also, I have a couple of derpy moments, but I'll talk about those in more detail later on. Now, T-44 is calling for help. I really want to try and get some shots off on these people who are advancing down here. This is a bad shot. Lower plate of an E75 at range with this gun. Nah, that was not a particularly good shot. Now, what I should have probably done here is moved up to support this T-44, but I'm going to get on with the what I should have done's later on. So, I decided to take some shots at range with this gun. This gun is not particularly accurate, and there you can see it doesn't hit. You could say, oh, RNG screwing you over, but if I'm honest, that's what you have to expect with 0.4 accuracy. This gun received an accuracy buff as of patch 9.2, but that does not mean that it is, ouch, that was unnecessary damage. That does not mean that this is an accurate gun. It is not by any stretch of the imagination, and just here, have I gone AFK? Well, the front doorbell's gone. Basically, my partner got home and I don't think she had any keys to the front door, so I had to go and let her in. Like I said, real life got in the way. And afterwards, I think I try and get a couple more shots from range on these guys. There we go, get a nice damage roll into the side of that 110, but I should probably be up helping this T-44. Ah well, I didn't. Trying to get some more damage in. Another hit on that 110 for 386. Bearing in mind these guys are also in the cap circle, so we really do need to be laying some fire down on them. That one damages his track. And so at this point I'm thinking, screw it, this is not working. This gun is not cut out for range. It's really not. That T-44 needs help. Oh, for Christ's sake. Okay, let's go and help this guy. And with a gun rammer, the reload time on this gun is not too shabby. So coming up here to try and give this T-44 a hand, but to be honest, it's probably a little bit too late. Put a shot into the Super Pershing, roll for 402, which is quite nice. And one into the side of the Super Pershing's turret. But I don't really want to have a sniping match with anyone aiming at weak spots because the armour on the Patton is not very good. I'm slightly worried about the people to my left hand side. The armour on the Patton's not very good and the accuracy on the gun's not very good, so sniping at weak spots against somebody is not really the sort of engagement you want to get into. And I move forward because I'm really worried about taking shots in the side here, so I want to move forward to deny the enemy shots at my side and to take these guys out. Take a hit from the Super Pershing there, and from the T-43, kill the T-43, bounce the Super Pershing, and Super Pershing is dead for kill number 2. We're currently losing 5 kills to 6. But this puts me behind their enemy tanks. Polish off the T-34. And now just focus on this M103, who, ouch, that hurt. Puts a hit into me. Alas, I bounce on him, which is annoying. Get another shot onto him and back off. I don't really want to take any more damage from this fellow. And he's dead. Excellent. We're winning 8 kills to 7. They are, however, still in our base. And I'm down to 564 health. 1390 crashes into me, but I'm not going to have a go at him. When you see the post-battle results, pay particular attention to how our 1390 did. He played a very nice game. So, the cap is going up, but I'm kind of relying on other teammates to do something about that, because I have very low health. Well, yeah, quite low health. So, can I get a shot across here on any of these fellows? Oh, it looked like I might have actually had a shot on that IS-8. Ah, that bounces. You could argue it was a little bit unlucky, but it ended up not being a particularly good shot on his turret. Their IS-3 goes down, we lose an IS-3, and that leaves the score at 9 kills per side. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm not spotted here if I possibly can, and then move up in support of this 1390 while trying to possibly get shots on some of these guys. So there we go, nice high damage roll for 447 into that PZSFL. And 1390 finishes him off. We're winning 10-9. No shots on either the IS-8 or the Jagdtiger 88. So we cross the bridge. And again, we're trying to back up this 1390. And get around their flanks. We're in a fairly mobile tank, a medium tank, so, you know, we should be able to do that. And also bear in mind, the gun on this tank is not at its best shooting at the front of heavy tanks. Right, now, I wanted to kill these guys because basically our fellows needed help. That shot bounced. Try and get a better firing position. Yep, these guys are calling for help. They need help against this IS-8. IS-8 moves out into the open. That shot goes into his tracks. We're losing 10-11. 10-12. That shot misses. Again, this is what you have to expect with 0.4 accuracy. Our 1390 is putting shots into him. That shot misses. Now, RNG is screwing me here. I'm getting unlucky with these shots, but that's the accuracy on this gun for you. Finally get a hit into him. One more to finish this guy off. There we go. But it took me so long to do that, and with that 1390, that we lost 2 tanks in the process, which is really frustrating. Right, so myself, 1390 and a T44, who's on the other side of the map, versus Jagdpanther 2, T25-2, scratch that, Jagdpanther 2, Jagdtiger 88. Apparently T44 and T46 report these losers because I'm not doing my bit for the game. Go figure. Jagdpanther 2, Jagdtiger 88 and a T28 prototype. There's the Jagdpanther, there's the Jagdtiger, and the prototype is up at C3, so immediately I'm not worrying about the prototype. Can I get a shot into this Jagdpanther? That would be nice. Alas, it tracks him instead. Ah well. I don't want to stay here having a long-range shooting engagement with the Jagdpanther 2, that's just not good for my health. 1390 is trying to take out this Jagdtiger, so I'm going to go down to try and help him, but the Jagdtiger 88 has a very, very fast rate of fire. We've lost our T44 to the prototype. I'm hoping that AMX is going to run away. Oh, I missed that shot, which is really frustrating. I didn't really have time to aim that properly. And that would leave me facing off against a hull-down Jagdtiger, which is just a terrible idea. So, balls. Alright. 1390 is going around one side. I'm trying to go around the other, but oh Christ, there's the Jagdpanther. I put a shot into him. He fires at me, but it looks like I managed to track him or something as his shot misses. Lose the AMX, which means I am alone and outnumbered 3-1. And I am convinced here that I am going to die very, very quickly. So, what do? Okay, step 1, deal with the Jagdtiger. Take a shot for the privilege, put a shot into him. Problem with taking a shot, well, is that it means that I am definitely a one-shot for the Jagdpanther, who blows my tracks off. That was a nice bit of luck. I use my repair kit to get around him as quickly as I possibly can, take a shot in the rear from the Jagdtiger, and finish off the Jagdpanther for 6 kills. Jagdtiger 88 now. And you might be able to guess my heart's kind of pounding. Oh jeez, right. Come around the side, Jagdtiger misses his shot, I miss mine, auto-aim on him. Jagdtiger 88 is very slow with its traverse, and finish him off. And, oh Christ, there's the T28 prototype, who takes my tracks off. I'm down to 10 rounds of armor-piercing ammo. Track is fixed, and I managed to move. T28 prototype is playing this quite cautiously. I put a shot into him, he misses me. I don't remember what the reload on the prototype is exactly, but it's pretty darn good. And now we have a bit of a Mexican standoff. Oh, balls. And I get a couple of well playeds, good job, and heart in my mouth and whatnot from both the enemy team, in particular that prototype, and my own team. Jesus Christ. But it wasn't enough. That was another defeat, and that is my highest damage game to date. Over 6,500 damage, 7 kills, ace tanker on a defeat, high caliber, top gun, but not enough to carry my team, alas. Now, have a look at the post-battle results. Imagine how angry I was at the time when I played this. As you can imagine, kind of fuming. But then, stick around. I'm going to go through that replay again, not 1-to-1 speed, but go through that again, and pick up on various points where I could have done better, because, let's be honest, you can look at a game like this and go, oh god, I did 6,500 damage and we still lost. I didn't deserve to lose that. But you can't control directly what the rest of your team does, how they play. What you can control is your own performance. And I did not play the perfect game here. I made mistakes. So I just thought I'd give you an example of going back over a game, even though it was a game I did very well in, going and looking back over that game and picking on those points where I screwed up and I could have done better. So, yeah, hang around for the post-battle results, and then afterwards we'll do that. Okay, so, here we are. Same game, but we're just going to have a look at those bits that I screw up. So let's just skip through some initial parts, and we decide to go over to the right hand flank. That's not so bad so far. Now initially, I think you could argue that I should have gone straight up with that T44 to the right hand side. That guy was going to need assistance, and I could have gone and assisted him. So I think that's a case that you could make, that perhaps, you know, that's what I should have done. I didn't do it though, because I wanted to try and get a shot on these guys who were the enemy team who had been spotted and were moving across. But what do I then do? The target I choose is not the the Super Pershing to my left. It's not the M103 who's soon going to come into view, presumably, from the other side of this house as he drives across. It's an E75. And I just sit here and aim at his lower plate. This is not good target selection. This is not a good use of my time. I'm lucky that the E75 misses me. I could have chosen any of those other targets and that would have been better play. So, there we go. That was a mistake. Again, I could move up here and support the T44. Ooh, power slide. But I don't. Now, this, at the time, you could argue was a mistake. I should probably have gone with that T44 and been helping him. Instead, I decide to try and take long-range shots with the Patton. The Patton is not good at long-range shots. The Patton is good much closer because its gun is just not really a sniper's gun. But I managed to make some of them work, and at the time I'm concerned about the cap circle. This is my rationale for doing this. Right there was another mistake, just to interrupt me. My reactions were nowhere near fast enough, and I took an unnecessary, 446 damage there from an E75. That was unnecessary, that was a mistake. Anyway, the reason I was doing that is that I was very concerned about the cap circle, because they had 2 tier 8 heavies there, and we had a couple of lower tier tanks. So I was trying to put shots into the those guys in order to assist. Now this is just real life happening. I do not think this is a mistake. I had to go and answer the door to let my other half in. Deal. That's just, it happens. I get back. So I'm not going to pick that up as a mistake. Now the situation is that again, is this a mistake? I'm taking long range shots with a Patton. Again, should I be up supporting that T44? But the counter argument is that it's these long range shots. They end up delaying the enemy team. They put damage into these tanks that are in the cap circle that we need to deal with. They currently have multiple tanks capping. So is this a good play? Is this bad play? I'm not sure, to be honest. I think you could make the case either way. If any of you have any thoughts on the matter, I'd be very interested to hear them. So I'm not sure about that. Anyway, let's speed this up again. I dither around here a little bit and eventually decide to go up and help the T44. Of course, by the time I do that, the guy's on really low health. I put a shot into the side of the Super Pershing, but it's not enough to help him. And that T44 is raging and whinging, and on the one hand, fair enough. On the other hand, if you didn't think you were going to get assistance, you shouldn't have gone that far forward. It's difficult. Now, I don't decide to have this shooting match with the Pershing. Yeah, I think you can make the case that that was the right call. But I'm about to do something that I think you can also make the case for it being a bad idea. So, I'm worried about those guys on my left-hand side hurting me. If we just have a quick look at them, I don't think a single one of them is actually looking my way. That's the rear of an E75, the side of a T34, and I think that's the rear of an M103. None of those guys are actually looking my way, but I was really worried about them, and as a result, I back off, and then instead of perhaps putting fire into their side or something, I take it upon myself to go and deal with these 2 medium tanks. But instead of being in a position where I could take a shot and back off and take advantage of my superior alpha damage, I just rush these 2 guys and probably give away a lot of health unnecessarily. Now I get lucky, T43 misses his shot, I take damage from the Super Pershing. The T43 then just damages my tracks, I bounce a shot from the Super Pershing and manage to finish him off. So the only damage I actually took there to kill those 2 guys was a 90mm shell from the Super Pershing that did an average of 240. But I got lucky. That could very easily have been a larger chunk of my health. So maybe, instead of just charging those guys down, I should have played it more cautiously and just kept a closer eye on the heavy tanks that were to my left-hand side. And if they had managed if they'd started looking at me and brought their gun to bear, then backed off. But if they hadn't, then not worried about it. But then maybe that would have been too much of a risk. Again, I think maybe you could make the case both ways. But what I was doing there was rushing down a pair of tanks and basically guaranteeing I was going to take some damage, simply because I was scared of taking some damage. So I'm not sure that was actually a good trade in the end. Even though it panned out okay, I'm not sure that the thinking was right. Kill the T34. And I should have been keeping a much better eye on that M103. I thought he was looking the other way. But not keeping a good eye on him means that I take that shot. Now that was a complete snapshot. You could argue the M103 got lucky to pen me. But, to be honest, the Patton doesn't have much armour. I could have really used that 400 health. I should have been more careful there. that was kind of a mistake from me. So let's just speed this up again. Okay, so we're going around here, and I should probably have taken my shot a little bit sooner against the IS-8 here, but it's a difficult shot to make. I didn't really know if I could make it or not. Let's just speed this up again. I spend a little bit too long dithering around here, I think, where I need to be moving up and helping this 1390. So, okay, here's where I get unlucky. These are the shots on the IS-8. I don't think this is a misplay. I think the guys, the AT-15 and the Tiger, I think these guys need the assistance against the IS-8. I think this is actually the right thing to do. I just get screwed over by RNG and the fact that this gun is not very accurate, and that's where this gun can and will fail you. Now, that shot could actually have been aimed a little bit better, if I'm honest. That shot is really too low. It's really aimed down toward his tracks, and the shell goes low anyway. So that was actually probably a bad shot. Again, this shot perhaps could be aimed a little bit higher. Especially, I mean, but the shell dips down. It's not that badly aimed. I'm trying to just aim for centre of mass here. And I finally put a shot in. I think I could have aimed a bit more to the front and a bit further up, because I think this gun can actually put shots through the turret if necessary. We pick up the kill, it just took too long. Alright, let's speed this up again. Doobie 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 doo. Kill him. Okay. Right. Jag Panther 2. I should have taken that shot earlier, because that became a shot on his front, which meant I was less likely to even hit him, let alone penetrate him and do damage. I have a blind shot here, but it's a bit optimistic. But, you know, if you don't take the shot, you're not going to hit. This 1390 needs my help, though. I need to go down there, get around this Jag Tiger. I want to keep my 1390 friend alive. I spent too long faffing around with that Jag Panther 2. Looks like 1390 is reloading. Jag Tiger comes around the corner. That shot was a bit unlucky, but also the aim on it was not particularly good, so I have to take partial responsibility for that shot, if I'm honest. And look, that was never going to penetrate, but never mind, there we go. Okay, so go around this side. I see the Jag Panther, put a shot into him. The Jag Panther spins around, it looks like I tracked him. And another shot into him. I'm desperately trying not to get shot by that 128mm gun on the Jag Panther 2. 1390 died, but I don't actually think that's a mistake on my part, because I need to concentrate on this Jag Panther. He can potentially kill me in one shot. However, I have a Jag Tiger coming around the side, so I then need to deal with him. Jag Panther again. I don't think this is a mistake. Put one shot into him. That's incredibly fortunate. I should have died there. I think repairing that at that time was actually the right thing to do, because it gave me, ouch, the time to get around here and kill this guy. Jag Tiger, okay, I took a shot from him, but that was always going to happen. I think I deal with this Jag Tiger okay, actually. Go around this side. It's kind of an awkward situation. He misses, but so do I. And then we're going to finish him off. So I think that's alright. Oh, okay, again I actually get lucky there. So I suppose RNG works both ways. I can't complain about it too much. Now, I think I make a mistake here. In a moment. He gets aggressive, comes round. I get lucky in that he misses. I'm not sure who has the better reload. I'm going to go and look up the reload of a T28 prototype. But what should I have done here? Now, what's going through my head is that I'm in a really awkward situation. In this position, the prototype is actually probably the worst tier 8 tank destroyer to be against, because A, it has really good DPM. The reload on that 120mm gun is surprisingly good. B, the frontal armour is enough to get bounces on, which means I actually have to be careful with my shots. I've only got 218mm of penetration with this gun. But thirdly, and perhaps most frustratingly, he has a turret, which means that I can't just get to his side and be immune to him. It's not a fully rotatable turret. There's a little arc to the rear where he can't hurt you, but it's still a bit of a pain in the backside. So what I probably should have done here, because if I go around either of those corners, I'm probably going to die. So if I'd backed off from this house, I could have broken contact with him. He wouldn't know which side of the house I was going to come around, and I could at the very least have given myself a 50-50 chance of getting him in the rear, hopefully. As it is, I just sort of dither around on this side of the house. He comes around, and he's a bit quicker on the trigger. I actually had to be careful with my shots. He didn't. Bazinga. Game over. So I just thought I'd run down there at the end my analysis of what I did wrong. I thought you might find it vaguely interesting. If you didn't, fine, whatever. Please feel free to leave some comments in the comment section about what you think I could have done differently, what I could have done better. But I do think it's very important to analyse your games, and in pretty much any game you play, you can probably pick out a thing you did that was great and a thing you did that sucked. And in this sort of game, clearly I did something right, because I came away with over 6,500 damage and high caliber, ace tanker on a defeat, top gun, all this shiz. But I did do things wrong, and I just wanted to highlight that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that game and found my thoughts at the end possibly vaguely informative. Maybe that would help the way some of you guys play. I don't know. Leave your comments in the comment section. Either way, please feel free to catch some of my other videos and or subscribe to my channel if you liked it. And whatever you choose to do, I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.